obviously not a good loss. That's if you're trying to win the league. You can't afford to give up home losses. So it's going to sting for a while. You got to give Texas a bunch of credit. So Coach Miller and his staff, for those guys to lose two, lose a home game to Mississippi State on the road at Tennessee and not look very good. I tried to tell our guys this is going to be a much better team. Coach Miller's won everywhere he's been. Does a really good job. This guy's got some pride. He called his guys out. Post-game press conferences, like they were going to get it turned around. And I said, we better make sure it's not against us. We got to play harder than them, and we didn't. So I got to look in the mirror and look at what I'm doing to not get winning effort out of these guys because they just out-toughed us, particularly in the second half. Started the first half too, but we gave up 12 boards in the second half. They collected fouls. We knew we couldn't keep putting them to the free throw line. They went to the free throw line. Second half, they shot 22 free throws. So we kept putting them to the free throw line. And we're not good enough right now defensively to beat anybody good. So we got to get better. It seems like every time we play, opponents' backcourt has their way with us. Tanner had 29. Pope had 28 today. I think he was averaging 12 going in. Ends up with 28. So, we got to get significantly better on defense starting right at the top. I got to look at what we're doing, who our matchups are, what our game plan is. They're getting into the paint too much. Then we got to get some players out there that got some pride. In the first half, I think we gave up 16 points on just straight isolation plays. So a lot of guys just no personal pride to get stops, and I got to get the right combination of guys out there with a little bit of defensive mentality. So a lot of credit to Texas, and we're not good enough right now to win any big games.
I don't know exactly how many appeals you had tonight. It seems like about the most I've seen. Can you just speak to your efforts to get an edge here and there with all that?
Yeah, going into the game, we saw a couple of their players had a lot of hook and holds and flagrant ones that weren't called. And we thought, I got Brady Goka, our video coordinator, does a really good job on top of it. We lost on the one. It would have been nice to have that timeout late, but I thought we could get an advantage, and we did on a couple of them, the Shovel and Taylor and Tremont Marks hook and hold. But our guys got to be a little tougher, and I don't want our guys getting flagrant ones. Like, that's not the way to win games. But it's almost like we're looking to help bail our guys out a little bit. But, if the opponent does something that's illegal and you can get 2 free throws on the ball for it, you need to challenge it. And I tried to make the referees aware of it. And I thought, the referees were not the issue tonight. We were the issue. I thought they did a pretty decent job when they went to monitor and looked. I thought they got the ones right. I'd have to take another look at a couple of them the one in the first half and the one in the second half we lost. But, they got a couple of them right.
Coach, what were your thoughts on the ball movement tonight after not really being satisfied with it after Vanderbilt?
It was better, but, we had 16 assists, 7 turnovers. There were still a few times I thought it should have moved better. We took some bad shots. The issue is more on the defensive end, I thought, tonight. But ball movement's definitely better than Vanderbilt. 9 assists for 16 assists. But, that's we got to continue to work on it. And Texas, they really got their guys that guard well tonight. I thought they did a great job. Sean got his guys ready to go, and we didn't do as good a job getting our guys ready to go tonight.
When you look at the defensive issues that you need to fix tonight, do you think it's more of an effort issue? Do you think it's more execution or something different?
It's all of it. It starts with effort, a competitive edge. Guys just don't want to lose, so they're going to give you everything they got. Guys are apparently too comfortable with losing right now because they're not giving us everything they got on that end of the floor. So I think it starts with having guys that just refuse to lose start with. And then from there it goes to, guys like in the moment having some personal pride on stopping their man. Like too many blow-bys, too many isolation plays where just beat one-on-one. Guy's not locked in on the help side. A guy gets beat, and one play is coming to my mind right now. They rip it baseline. We had a guy that just gave up a straight line blow-by, and a guy that's supposed to be our help man at the rim just standing outside the lane out to lunch, and it happens way too often. So not enough attention to detail. And it's difficult because some of our better offensive players are the guys that just aren't giving us the effort we need on the defensive end, and you obviously need both sides of the ball to win. I do think we've got some guys that care enough about winning on the defensive end, but you also then got to score the ball on offense too. So we're gonna have to figure out the right lineups to play that care enough, compete enough, are tired of losing, got enough personal pride in their defense, and are also, care enough to prepare. Like I think Brian Adams runs our defense, does a really good job putting good game plans together. He did in the NBA for 16 years. He's doing it now, and we got guys that don't care enough to lock in and follow a game plan. Losing doesn't bother them enough yet. I don't know how many losses it's going to take till it bothers them, but it is bothering me. It bothers the coaching staff, and as soon as it starts bothering the players enough, I'm sure they'll change. Because it bothered Texas. Texas lost 2 in a row, started 0-2, and that team looked a lot different than the team that played at Tennessee. So it obviously bothered them enough to change. So hopefully at some point it bothers our guys enough that they'll invest enough on the defensive end of the floor.
Coach, you've challenged Taylor Bolbowen in the past to show more in the rebounding department. 8 on defense, 10 total for him tonight. What did you think of the physicality that he met tonight with?
He's doing what we need him to do to win games. And I love the fact that he's met the challenge. He's making tough plays. He's getting rebounds up over the rim, showing his athleticism. And I think when he just locks in, and he didn't have a very good shooting night at Vanderbilt. And I didn't care. I told him I didn't care about that. Like, just do the winning stuff we need you to do to win games. Today he goes 3 of 3 from 3. To me, when you just lose yourself in the game of what it takes to win, the other stuff will take care of itself, and it did for him tonight. So he was a real bright spot for us. I thought he played super hard at Vanderbilt. He wasn't the issue in either of these losses. So I'm happy he got his first double-double. It would have been great to have him get it in a win, but that 4 spot was a big concern of ours. And, and London was good too. London's been rebounding. I thought he played hard at Vanderbilt. So we got 2 guys that can shoot it well. London went 3 of 3 from 3. I thought he just kind of bought into playing hard on the defensive end. London can play some minutes at the 3. Amari cares. Amari gives effort. He competes super hard. Amari can play the 1. So we've got some guys that I think, it's good to see Sherrell back out there. I didn't quite think he was himself, but he's, I don't know what this last game will take him to, but at one point he was here not that long ago. He was the best high major player in the country in blocks per game. So we've got some guys playing hard, about rebounding, about competing, about the right stuff. We're going to have to put a group together that really, we can get all 5 guys out there competing, playing hard, doing the right stuff.
Yeah, 8 of 15 at the line in the second half after going 11 of 12 in the first half. Just how's that kind of happen?
When you're worried about the wrong stuff. When you're locked in, you're locked in. When you're locked into defense, all you care about is winning the game. And when you're locked into the defensive end and then you go to the line and you're locked in and you're just focused on winning the game, you're going to step up and you're going to make your free throws. And when you're worried about a lot of stuff that's a distraction and you're worried about stats and some other stuff and you're not locked in, that's when you go to the line you miss, especially when you're a good shooter. Guys that should be making free throws at a high level. And the pressure got to him a little bit in the second half. We got down 13. We do a free throw game. It took us 4 tries to get it the way I wanted it yesterday. Guys got to care enough to get in the gym, work on their free throws. So, the free throw is the only thing in the game of basketball that has no variation to it ever, except for the variation you put in your own mind. Well, if you get enough reps up, you train your mind and basically become a machine at the free throw line. And we obviously aren't putting enough reps up right now.
London just talked about that the team needs to be more connected, leading up to games, in games. Just kind of what does that look like to have more success in SEC play?
Yeah, it looks
moving
like we
forward?
need some leadership to step up. Some guys that want to get everybody together and say they're tired of losing. Stuff's got to change. It's not a talent problem. It's a focus and effort, a competitive juice problem. So whether if they're not as connected, that falls on the leadership of the team. And we've told these guys, I mean, we're here to help you. This is your team, your season. I'll be coaching for a long time after this. They get one opportunity with this group to put it together, and that's it. So, if they love their brothers and they want their teammates to perform well, they're going to give a lot better effort on the floor than what they're giving. Maybe they're not as connected, and to me it seems like we don't have any bad guys. Like there's nobody that everybody just doesn't like. They seem like they like each other, but they obviously don't respect their teammates enough to give a winning effort out there, because some of the guys are really bought into winning, but not everybody. So we got to get everybody bought into winning.